Now, international news. The process to form an interim government is going on in Syria. United States said they want to see an inclusive government in Syria which will represent the whole nation. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has confirmed the Biden administration is in direct contact with Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the armed Syrian opposition group designated a foreign terrorist organization by the U.S. that overthrew Bashar al-Assad. Blinken made this statement at a news conference in Jordan where regional and Western diplomats met to discuss Syria's future. Israeli air forces have carried out dozens of attacks targeting military and ammunition sites across Syria as the de facto Syrian leader warned against the incursion but added that his country does not want a new conflict. More than 60 Israeli airstrikes took place over the last 12 hours, reports Al Jazeera, adding that Israel has conducted about 800 air raids across Syria since the ouster of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad last week. Israeli forces have also destroyed roads, power lines and water networks in the southeastern Quneitra region after people refused to follow their orders to evacuate. Gaza Civil Defense Agency said Israeli strikes on the territory killed 17 people on Saturday, including 7 at a UN school housing displaced people that the Israeli military said was used as a Hamas command center. Civil Defense spokesman Mahmoud Bissau told AFP there were 7 people killed, including women and children, and at least 10 wounded when Israeli warplanes targeted the Al-Majida Wasila school west of Gaza City. The school was run by the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, but like many such facilities, it has been turned into a makeshift shelter for those displaced by the war in Gaza. The Israel offensive has killed at least 44,930 people in Gaza, a majority of them civilians, according to figures from the Hamas-run territory's health ministry that the United Nations considers reliable. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) has added India to its list of uncooperative countries, accusing the listed nations of failing to cooperate adequately in deportation processes. In addition to India, the list includes Bhutan, Cuba, Iran, Pakistan, Russia and Venezuela. ICE stated that these countries have failed to assist in key processes such as conducting interviews, issuing travel documents in a timely manner, and facilitating and repatriation of their nationals on designated flights. According to ICE, the U.S. plans to deport 1.45 million undocumented migrants, including 18,000 Indians. In recent years, nearly 90,000 Indian nationals have been detained while attempting to enter the U.S. illegally. Although many Indian migrants are seeking to regularize their status in the U.S., the process could take 2 to 3 years to complete. Honduras tops the list of countries with the highest number of undocumented immigrants in the U.S. with 261,000 individuals. Among Asian nations, China leads with 37,908 undocumented immigrants, while India ranks 13th. ABC News will pay a $15 million settlement payment to resolve a defamation lawsuit brought by President-elect Donald Trump, according to court documents filed Saturday. The lawsuit is stemmed from on-air comments made by top anchor George Stephanopoulos, who said Trump was found liable for rape during an interview with U.S. Representative Nancy Mace that aired in March. The terms of the settlements require ABC News to make a $15 million donation to a fund dedicated to a presidential foundation and museum for Trump. The news organizations and Stephanopoulos will also issue public apologies, saying they regret statements made about Trump during the aforementioned interview, and the broadcaster will pay an additional $1 million in attorney fees. The case was settled one day after Judge Lisette M. Reid requested depositions from both Trump and Stephanopoulos. The settlement marks the latest victory in Trump's string of legal fortunes since winning the November 5th presidential election. The world's largest iceberg, which had been drifting north from Antarctica since 2020, has come to a halt. Instead of continuing along its trajectory toward warmer waters, it's now melting, spinning in an ocean vortex, according to the British Antarctic Survey's BAS. The iceberg is trapped in a rotating cylinder of water called a Taylor column near the South Orkney Islands, located about 375 miles northeast of the Antarctic Peninsula. Each day, the iceberg named A23A rotates about 15 degrees. Before, it was a Rhode Island-sized iceberg. A23A was part of Antarctica. It broke off the Falkner-Ronne ice shelf on the northwestern side of the continent in 1986. When it split, it brought the Soviet research station Druzhnaya 1 with it. The Soviets traveled to the iceberg to collect their equipment from the abandoned base in February 1987. Now weather.